Dred Scott's the worst decision ever made by the Supreme Court, and the only debate is the worst or the second worst. All right, so it's not very courageous to be against Dred Scott. Now, what I would like to show with Dred Scott is this. The best thing I could think of, if I'm trying to think of what was Chief Justice Taney thinking, and the strongest plus I've ever heard, which isn't much of a plus, and I'll tell you why, is that, well, he might have been thinking politically. And this becomes relevant, you say. He might have been thinking politically. He might have thought, if we can get this issue of the status of slaves in the new territories settled, if we can make the Southerners secure that they won't have their slaves taken away from them, then we'll avoid a civil war. Now, there's some evidence he thought something vaguely like that. And that's a political argument. And I want to put that in here because there's a strong tendency to think really what we do on the Supreme Court is we really do politics. We're sort of, junior league politicians. Now, you scratch behind what people say to my face, that's what they're thinking. And, I come and I don't think that's right. And quite a lot of this is spent explaining why I think that's not right. But this is the strongest argument why it's not right. Because first, Hamilton gave us the job because they thought judges weren't politicians. If you want to give it to politicians, give it to Congress. I mean, they know politics, and Dred Scott proves the other half of that. If judges are politicians, they are terrible politicians. What happened after Dred Scott was decided? Curtis, who was from Massachusetts, wrote a terrific dissent where he really, in my opinion, took this apart line by line, not in terms of law viewed with hindsight, but in terms of law at that time. Now, that dissent was not some kind of great glamorous buzzwords or what do you call it, sound bites or glittering language, which I can't write, which Curtis couldn't either. And it was logical going through this argument. I love it. Argument by argument by argument. His dissent was turned into a pamphlet. It was circulated throughout the United States. It led to quite a few editorials. The New York, Horace Greeley, the Tribune, wrote, and the New York legislature said, if this decision is the law, the next thing you will discover is the slave owner with his manacled gang is going to come and have his slaves there underneath Bunker Hill, that monument to freedom, and we can't do anything about it. And it was just, Lincoln picked it up, and Lincoln used it in his Cooper Union address. And that address helped make him the leading candidate of the Republican Party. And the Republican Party became the party that was anti-slavery, and they were elected, hence withdrawal, hence the Civil War.